when I did Food Revolution in America, that was the first show ever in American history to be on prime time, let alone a cable channel, stirring the pot about food, where it comes from, how it affects our body, how we feed kids at school, how there's no food education at school. That, you know, what's a crime is not talking about food.
Hi, it's Lisan. So what I like about Jamie Oliver is that he has featured vegan recipes on his website. He has even said that plant-based is the future in an interview with Timothy Sheaf. So he's very open to the idea of a vegan diet, except that he doesn't follow a vegan diet himself, and he still features meat and eggs and dairy on his website. One of the reasons that Jamie Oliver is so popular is that he caters to the masses. People admire him for his desire to change the food system, and he's not afraid to shock people with the facts. But on his website, he's got articles like why eggs are healthy and how cheese can be healthy. He's got different sections on his website that promote the use of different animal source foods like duck, turkey, chicken, beef. Jamie knows in his heart that it's not good to kill animals, that we do not need them for nutrition. We don't even need them for taste. As a chef, I'm sure he knows that you can make amazing, tasty vegan meals. He mentions the ethical side of eating eggs. The website says that male chicks die with minimal stress, and that's kind of like an excuse that his website gives for eating eggs, in that it's just a sad reality and we can't change it. I don't agree with that, because we can change it. We can just not eat eggs.
Chicks are born in large incubators and never get the chance to see their mothers. Chick sexes separate the male and female chicks. Because males are of no use to the industry, they are suffocated or ground up alive. The female chicks will have their beaks cut off and will then be crammed into tiny cages or overcrowded sheds. The chicks are crammed together with barely enough space to move. They are forced to urinate and defecate on each other, and the resulting ammonia causes severe damage to their lungs. Many chickens die in their cages and are often left to rot. Chickens have been genetically modified to produce 300 eggs a year instead of their normal 17, which puts a massive strain on their bodies.
There's a lot of recipes online that show the use of alternatives to eggs. Even Just Mayo has mayonnaise that is made without eggs. So there's no need to justify their use in recipes, especially when there is that sad reality of the male chicks being grounded up a day after they're born. This is not necessary, and just like saying that they die quickly is not an adequate justification for including them in your diet, and definitely not for promoting them on your website. The website tries to convey that eggs are a health food, but this is far from the truth. The website says that they're a source of protein and B12, and this is true, but we do not need the protein from eggs. Eggs are high in methionine, and a study has shown that vegans who have lower consumption of methionine can live longer because of this methionine restriction. So it's not an inherently bad thing that vegans are eating less methionine.
Consumption of diets rich in plants and other lifestyle measures can prevent the majority of cancers. Unfortunately, people don't do them, and as a result, each year hundreds of thousands of Americans develop metastatic cancer. Chemotherapy cures only a few types of metastatic cancer. Unfortunately, the vast majority of common metastatic cancers, like breast, prostate, colon, and lung, are lethal. We therefore desperately need novel treatment strategies for metastatic cancer, and dietary methionine restriction may be one such strategy. Where is methionine found? Particularly chicken and fish. Milk, red meat, and eggs has less, but if you really want to stick with lower methionine foods, fruits, nuts, veggies, grains, and beans.
We also don't need eggs for B12 because B12 is not really just a vegan problem. B12 is a bacteria that is found in soil. Animals are injected with B12. We don't have to consume the animal products to get B12. We can just have injections ourselves, or we can take a supplement. So eating eggs for B12 is not a surefire way to get enough of this vitamin. The website also justifies cheese consumption, and this is written by a nutritionist, which is quite odd. So the nutritionist says that it's a source of protein for vegetarians. And again, we do not need cheese to get enough protein. If that were the case, then there wouldn't be all these healthy vegans around. We do not need cheese or eggs or meat to get enough protein. We have all the essential amino acids in plant foods. So it sounds like the articles are trying to cater to the mainstream audience and trying to make people feel good about bad things in their diet. And people, of course, don't want to hear that cheese is bad for you or that eggs is bad for you. They want to be able to enjoy these foods without guilt. But not only are these foods unethical and unhealthy, they are unnecessary. And we can make vegan alternatives to these. When people are confronted with the reality that animal foods are unhealthy, they tend to brush it off by saying that it's all about moderation. Moderation is subjective and it doesn't really help people. If people aren't given strict guidelines about what is the optimal diet, they're going to be quite clueless, and people are going to just include unhealthy foods in their diet just because they think moderation is okay. Why not promote the healthiest foods, especially if your website is talking about the nutritional value of certain foods? Why not promote the health benefits of certain fruits or vegetables and just leave out the animal source foods, which are full of ethical issues and implications? So you can avoid that. You don't have to bow down to what the meat and dairy and egg industry says.
To feed a person on an all-plant-based vegan diet for a year requires just 1/6 of an acre of land. To feed that same person on a vegetarian diet that includes eggs and dairy requires 3 times as much land. To feed an average U.S. citizen's high-consumption diet of meat, dairy, and eggs requires 18 times as much land. This is because you can produce 37,000 pounds of vegetables on 1.5 acres, but only 375 pounds of meat on that same plot of land. I also learned the comparison doesn't end with land use. A vegan diet produces half as much CO2 as an American omnivore, uses 1/11th the amount of fossil fuels, 1/13th the amount of water, and 1/18th of the amount of land. After adding this all up, I realized I had the choice every single day to save over 1,100 gallons of water, 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forested land, the equivalent of 20 pounds of CO2, and one animal's life.
Someone might say that it's hard for someone who's been eating meat for a long time, and especially a chef who promotes meat eating on his website and in his shows and in the past. How can someone like that change? But I think the world is changing and people are being more and more open to a vegan diet. People are going vegan every day. We're getting more awareness through YouTube and through social media about the benefits of a vegan diet. So before Jamie can promote eating vegan, he has to go vegan himself. And I'm sure he can do this. I think he will have a massive impact and change the world this way. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.
As far as some of the biggest cancers and killers in the world, they are seeing a link. If you look at the kind of big population, mindful vegan vegetarian diets are looking really good at the moment.
Yeah.
We're all on a journey, we're all learning, but
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
back to the sort of veggie vegan stuff, it's a no-brainer. The future is about a plant-based diet,
Yeah.
even for the meat eaters.